Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the support from Indonesian government and people for Palestinians. The first president of Indonesia, Sukarno, in 1945 said, "We support the Palestinians no matter what," because maybe he felt we were in the same boat because Indonesia was quote unquote colonized by the Dutch for 350 years. Yep, the Dutch. Netherlands today today Netherlands has about 25 million people, and Indonesia has 280 million people. The Netherlands has 25 million people because maybe 10 million of them are immigrants. So basically, the native Dutch probably only about 15 million. But the Indonesian government, Indonesian history books been telling us that that little country colonized us for 350 years. So the president back then in 1945 felt the same way regarding the Palestinians. He thought the Palestinians was colonized by the Israelis, I guess. And until today, Indonesian government keeps saying the same thing. We support the Palestinians no matter what. As a matter of fact, there is one hospital in Gaza is run by Indonesian medical doctors and government. And the funny thing last week, this happened last week, reports Trump team mulls temporarily relocating Gaza residents to Indonesia. So the plan is they want to rebuild Gaza. But these 2.3 million people, they're just everywhere. And it's not easy to do that. So it's better if they get out first, rebuild Gaza, and then come back. That way it's going to be easier and quicker. Well, quicker means 10 years because Gaza not is not building 200 houses, This is building like hundreds of apartments and condos and office and houses and thousands of them, tens of thousands of this, so many. So it will take long time. But still, the plan is not forever. It's not for forever. It's just temporary. A guy, his name is Steve Witkoff, said the question is how to rebuild Gaza and how and where to relocate 2 million Palestinians for temporary. In the meantime, Indonesia is one of the locations is being discussed for this relocation. This is Steve Witkoff is from Donald Trump administration. This is not an official statement. This is just a talk. So this is nothing official. This is not concrete. This is not written on stone. And the funniest thing, of course, after this, um,
Selamat datang kembali di Guru Gembel Channel.
sorry about that. Let me bring it to this. Indonesian government sent the foreign minister to give an official statement regarding this rumor. Let me read it for you. This is from foreign minister. This is foreign minister regarding relocation of people of Gaza to Indonesia. This is the Indonesia.go ID. The government, okay, start from here. The government of Indonesia never got any information from anyone regarding a plan to relocate some of the 2 million people of Gaza to Indonesia as an effort to reconstruct Gaza after the conflict. The government avoids speculation and about this issue without any clear information. This is the best. The third one. Indonesia stands with the same position that any effort to relocate people of Gaza is unacceptable. Is unacceptable. Effort to reduce people of Gaza will allow Israel to stay illegally in Palestine. And this is part of the strategy to get rid of the Palestinian in Gaza. This is an official statement from foreign minister. So Indonesia will not accept anyone from Gaza. Right away saying this. And this reminds me of Rohingya. When Rohingya attack police in Myanmar, several police stations in Myanmar. If I'm not mistaken, actually the police in Myanmar caught many of them because of rape. Someone was raped, a woman was raped by people of Rohingya. And people from Rohingya, they actually had weapons. So they attacked police stations in several locations. And that's how it all started. Well, how the issue became so big. And now they got kicked out from Myanmar. And like I said before, I don't know if you watched my old video, Rohingya people they don't look alike. If you look at the pictures of people from Myanmar and Rohingya, they don't look alike. Rohingya people, they look like people from Bangladesh. But anyway, the point is, after throwing support, when Indonesian government and Indonesian and Muslims from Indonesia throwing support, they support Rohingya people, yada yada yada. There's a government from Myanmar, no good, yada yada. And then when the Rohingya people came to Indonesia, northern Sumatra, Aceh, people from Aceh kicked them out. They hated them. They did not want Rohingya people. There are some Rohingya people still in Indonesia, maybe about 1,000 people. And even that, some of them, they ran away. When refugee came to Indonesia, Indonesian government will put them in a building. And they're not supposed to leave the building, or they cannot work. They just, I don't know, just got food or money to buy food. So, can you imagine how bored your life will be if you're a refugee in Indonesia? Cannot go to school, the children not supposed to go to school. The treatment is very bad. So, I remember watching a video, ladies, Indonesian women with hijab covered, some of them not even hijab, niqab. They were demonstrating. They want Rohingya people to get out and leave Aceh. Just a reminder, Aceh was the most hit when we had tsunami. Remember 20 something years ago? Big tsunami hit, couple of 100,000 people dead, and 168,000 of them from Aceh, 50,000 from Thailand, I think 5,000 from Sri Lanka or something, India or something like that. I don't remember anymore now. And these Aceh people from Aceh, they still, don't like or don't accept refugee. When they had tsunami, people helping them from all over the world. But when Rohingya people got kicked out, in the beginning they support them. And now if you watch the news in Indonesia or read about Rohingya people in Indonesia right now, this month, 2025 January, the news is very negative about Rohingya people. They accuse Rohingya people throwing food given by Indonesians. Rohingya people are being ungrateful. They talk bad about Rohingya people. So I can imagine if some of these 2 million Gazans come to Indonesia, let's say 1/8 of them, let's say 250,000 of them. Like I said, Indonesia is not a rich country, so it's impossible to accept 2 million people. Even 200,000 people, I don't know how the government will have money. That's why in Turkey or Syria, when they accept refugee or Lebanon, the refugee can actually work, allowed to work, look for job. But the Indonesians are not like that. The Indonesians are they're very, I will say, I don't know what's the word. They don't trust foreigners. They don't trust foreigners. Even though, in theory, they support Muslims from, well, Palestine, of course. But in reality, if let's say a couple of thousand, just couple of thousand people from Gaza come to Indonesia, they will not like them. They will want people from Gaza to get out. A few days ago, people from Gaza in Malaysia, they were banging the gate because they also live in a building in Malaysia, banging the gate and throwing stuff, including food. This is real. This is not me talking bad about them because they wanted to go back home. They wanted to go back home. The problem is they want to go back home to Egypt first. So now we'll see how the Malaysian government will deal with them. Malaysian government trying to be a hero, and they cannot even handle a couple of dozens of Gazans, and most of them are ladies and children. I don't know. So anyway, So this kind of thing will show that how the hypocrisy of the government of Indonesia, the hypocrisy of Muslims from Indonesia, everything they do is just talk. Talk is cheap. We all know that. And now the Indonesian people and government show it. That they show the world how much they love the Palestinians. Anyway, that's all from me for today. Thank you for watching and listening. Whether you love the Palestinians or you hate the Palestinians, whether you love the Israelis or hate the Israelis, God bless you all. Have a nice life.